Today, I really want to talk to you about something that's been coming up quite a bit for my clients lately, and that is the feeling that even though you're doing everything right, something just isn't working. You're still facing some kind of block, and you're just not sure where to start or where it's coming from. So, I'm going to talk about two reasons why this might be happening, but they kind of tie in together. So, the first one is maybe you have some old money stories that are coming up. And by money stories, I mean these are things that we've told ourselves or that stem from something our parents have told us in our childhood that we now take as fact. So, for example, a really common one is money doesn't grow on trees. I'm sure we've all kind of heard that one, right? So, if you've grown up with money doesn't grow on trees from your family, that can easily translate and be morphed over the years into money is hard to get, there's not enough of it, there's no way I will ever be able to have enough money in my life. And those are the type of stories that stick with us and really block our manifestation powers. Because if you have this subconscious money story that money doesn't grow on trees, I will never be able to have enough money, there's never enough money for me and my family, there's no way that you'll be able to believe yourself when you're trying to manifest more money. It just won't happen because your subconscious doesn't really believe you. So a tool that I like to use to get over these money stories, or to at least bring them up to the surface and think about them, is what I like to call a meditation rite. So when you're doing a meditation and rite, what you do is you sit in silent meditation. It can be hard. I know if you've never meditated before, meditation can be hard. So you're welcome to use a guided meditation. You can find them on YouTube, or there's lots of apps for them for your phone. So you sit in meditation for 10 minutes and just focus on your breath. Don't think about all these things that pop into your head. Don't dwell on any feelings that you have. Just focus on your breath in and out. After the 10 minutes is up, grab a piece of paper or a journal and do a word dump. So just write down everything that comes to your mind. And things will come up that you have no idea where they're from. That's really good. That's what you want, because that's your subconscious, all those thoughts that are in your subconscious coming to the surface. And once you know what's in your subconscious and you know what those blocks are, then you can fix them. But sometimes it's very challenging to get those blocks up. So that's why a meditation rite is so great, because you sit and you're calm, all those things can come to the surface, and then you get to just dump them all out onto the page. Now, things are going to come up for you that may not even seem like they're a real issue, like you're just pulling things from your head. That's okay. Write all of it down. You can pick through it later. It's better to have too much than not enough. So things will come up such as, I don't deserve to be successful, or money is hard to get, or I suck, or I'm a fraud. These things are normal and they will come up. It's best just to get them out of your body. Otherwise, they're going to stay there and block you more. So after you've gotten everything out onto the page and you feel cleansed and detoxed, you then need to go through your list and forgive. Now, this is a great way to start your forgiveness and gratitude practice, is with after a meditation rite, because you'll have so many things to forgive and so many things to be grateful for. And this is very challenging to do too, because a lot of our old money stories come from our parents. And it's sometimes very hard to forgive our parents for something that we don't forgive them yet for. So, for example, if something like, I don't deserve to make my own money, I need a man to support me, comes up, that's kind of a common one. If that comes up, that's fine. Now, maybe that came from your father. So what you need to do now is say, thank you, I forgive you, I love you, I let this go. Now you can say it out loud or you can write it down, whatever feels better for you. But just the act of forgiveness really lets it go and gets it off your chest. Now, forgiving somebody can be hard, and you might not mean it right away, but that's okay. Just do the exercise anyway, because forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's not about you publicly saying that you were wrong and the other person was right and you're forgiving them for it. and saying sorry, you're saying to yourself, I'm letting this go. This no longer serves me. So as you work through your list, you can forgive other people, you can forgive yourself, you can forgive anybody you need to get over these old money stories. And you may have to do this a couple of times before it really sticks and you really feel like you've forgiven somebody. But that's okay. There's no rush. You're never not going to do something right. Done is better than perfect, so just do it. Okay, so that's the first one, old money stories. That's a very, very common one. And that one is common if you are just starting out on your practice and you really haven't gotten all those blocks out, all those money story blocks that come up early on in the process. The second one ties into money stories, and usually there's some lingering money stories that accompany this one, but it's more for somebody that's more advanced in their manifestation and money block practice. And yeah, it's for somebody that has already gotten all their goals and maybe they're just trying to push to the next level. And that is what I like to call negative consequences. So if you have a really big goal, for example, doubling your income this year, that's kind of a common one. If that's your big goal, now you have to look, and you're still not getting where you want to be and it's not coming into fruition. Now you need to look at what are the negative consequences around having that goal. And I know you may be saying like, oh, Zoe, obviously I want to double my income. There's nothing bad about having more money. There's no negative consequences. I want it. Why would I be blocking myself from this? And that's great, but you probably are. If you haven't manifested what you want, there probably is some negative consequences there that you might not be observing. So for example, let's continue with you want to double your income this year. So if you want to, now you have to think, what is the worst thing that can happen if I achieve this goal? So maybe it is, and this is where it ties into old money stories, maybe you have an old money story or an old block that is money makes people greedy. Now, if you think money makes people greedy and you want to double your income, you don't want to be a greedy person. So subconsciously, you're blocking yourself from getting more money because your brain is trying to protect yourself from being a greedy person and seeing yourself in a negative way. So that's okay. It's okay once you acknowledge all those things that now you can get rid of them. So that's the first process in anything when getting through money blocks, is you have to acknowledge them first and you have to be very honest with yourself because this stuff is hard. But once you acknowledge that you have it and there are some negative consequences, again, if you're having trouble coming up with negative consequences, I suggest doing the meditation and write first. You'll be really surprised about what comes up, and that's perfect. Then once you are done, once you have all that blocks up, then you can start to remove them and you can start to break them down. And what I like to do for getting rid of the negative consequence fears is do tapping. Now, if you've never tapped before, there's tons of exercises on YouTube for tapping for anything. You can just Google tapping for anxiety or tapping for more clients or anything, and you'll get some tapping from that. But what tapping does is it allows you to be negative and it allows you to feel those fears, and then it allows you to release them into the universe and get rid of them out of your body so they don't stay and block you further. So say, for example, you wanted to double your income and you're feeling like if you do that, you'll become a greedy person. You can then go and do your tapping and say, even though I'm afraid that I'll become a greedy person if I double my income, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you just do this. You do all your tapping points, all them, yep. And you just release them. So try those out. See if they make you feel better. It doesn't always happen right away that the impact and the shift happens, so that's okay. Keep working at it. This is my first video that I've ever done, so let me know by replying to this email if you liked it. And if you also wanted to learn a little bit more about doing working through your money blocks and manifesting especially more income, you can check out, I have a deal for everybody on this email list of a guide and a workbook for 30 days of manifestation, make more money. So you can check that out below. It's $7. You get the guide and the workbook. I would love some feedback on it. That's why it's going to be so cheap. It's only going to be $7 for the next week, and then it's going to go up to $49. So definitely purchase that if you haven't already. I know some of you have already. But yeah, and let me know if you like the videos, if you like this format, and just any feedback is good. Even if you think I suck and you hate me, that's okay. Send it all back. I love hearing from you. You can always email me at support@defineyourrich.com or by going on to defineyourrich.com and filling out the contact form. Also, if you want to work with me a little bit one-on-one with your money blocks, sometimes it's easier if you work one-on-one with me and I can tell you what your money blocks are instead of you wallowing in self-pity and doubt for a few weeks. You can always book a free clarity session with me. I do 30 minutes and we can work through some of those blocks. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. So have a good weekend, everybody. I hope everybody's manifesting their dreams and getting lots of money and all of that good stuff. And yeah, have a great weekend. See you guys soon.